It's BlackHighPriestess. Happy Friday, TGIF. So this will be my first Women's History Month upload. Not sure if I don't think I did one last month. I might have uploaded something, but um, thank you all for being here. As you all trickle in, feel free to ask any questions. This upload is about Black men are out of touch. So for women, the first thing I want to talk about for Women's History Month, while we still have one, um, is why I think my experiences as a female are now a bit more valid and a bit more important into my brand than my experiences as a Black woman. And I think that has a lot to do with my environment, the society that I'm around, particularly in Chicago, and the quality or the low quality of Black people, or the breed of Black people in the Chicagoland area, and the segregation and the white privilege, and me having been groomed under white privilege, dealing with extreme racism, having a thicker skin, um, and just being confronted with an immense amount of hatred, envy, fear, jealousy, fear from Black people, and just not really being able to experiencing anything other than the inferiority, fear of Black people in Chicago. Having said that, again, um, this upload is about Black men are out of touch. And I prayed for revelations last night. I prayed for things to be revealed to me, nothing specific. I just felt that I wanted some information, or what I wanted, things, whatever is hidden, to be revealed to me before I, as spring cleaning, before I step into 2025 and make the decisions and plan out my year, reveal whatever I need to know for me to make the best decisions. And the first thing that popped up in my feed on Instagram um, this morning was Umar Johnson's daughter putting him on blast. Um, and today I had free time to enjoy myself, and I really wanted to have a relaxing self-care day, but the spirits called me to talk about how out of touch Black men are. And so to enter this conversation, I want to use Umar Johnson as an example. The revelation of, his daughter coming out and putting him on blast, that's that spiritual insight that I got. But in looking for more information on that on YouTube, first thing I came across was It's Up There podcast, or Up in the Air podcast, or the It's Up There podcast interview with Umar Johnson. And this one was a recent one. And one of the beginning questions that is asked to Dr. Umar Johnson is, if there was a Black society and a white society, what society would want to integrate first? And Umar Johnson was quick to say that the Black society would want to integrate first. I fully disagree based on my experiences with white people in Chicago, in the most segregated city in the United States, in a place where white people have an immense amount of privilege, and it has not gone anywhere. Um, the Why I disagree with that, and why I, with really without a doubt, feel that white people would be desperate to integrate, and why historically we have seen that white people would just fight to segregate Black men and women. If they saw our community, the white people would be too busy segregating black women from black men to even let their community thrive on their own merit, because historically white people on in their own society, for the short time that they have been on this planet, in their own society, have colonized indigenous cultures. And white people, even post slavery, in their own societies, when they're perfectly fine, supposedly, will go out of their way to demolish anything that black people build. So for Umar Johnson to be a psychologist and to answer that question in 2025, not 25 years ago when he started his bullshit, or when he was actually teaching people something of value, which was how to protect their black children from white school systems. When his focus was protecting black children from white medical systems and white school systems, everything he said was pretty much valid. There's no validity to saying that black people are so desperate to get validation from whites that if we had our own society that we would be looking to integrate with whites. Furthermore, right now in 2025, if any black person is actually involved in creating solutions, there we have several societies and none of them are trying to integrate with whites. However, every single white function or agenda or whatever organization, all of them are actively gentrifying the black South Side. Went to open mic the other day. An out of place white girl was there, was not performing well, which made me think she was even more of an op than she was already presenting herself to be. Um, for no reason. There's plenty of white places you can go and perform your music. Why come to an all black place? And there was only one brother who I saw looked with disgust, with a Khalid Muhammad look of like, this is wrong. Why do we have white agents right here at our open mic event? Um, that that event in itself, that's another example. Just these little things are an example of, for me, how out of touch black men are with just any sense of reality. Um, it were How out of touch black men are with any sense of masculinity or responsibility, and it, how incorrect it is to say that a black society would be looking for validation from a white society. Repatriation to Ghana. And repatriation to Ghana, you see how many white people are repatriating to Ghana when that was intended for black Americans to reconnect to our African roots? And it's full of white people gentrifying black initiatives. Everywhere you go in society right now, white people are doing everything to become a part of or to capitalize off of black owned businesses right now in your face. This is how I know Umar Johnson is out of touch, because you're saying things that do not apply to any of this generation, because you, Umar Johnson, still in your mind believe white people are better than black people inherently. You really believe white societies are so much better than the black societies because you, Umar Johnson, like 99% of black American men, need to be up in a white woman's face to feel worth anything, because black women have no respect for black men and we have no reason to. And frankly, the rest of the world doesn't respect you. The only place black men are going to get respect is in the face of a white woman who has no self-worth and needs to use him to validate whatever she needs validation for, or in the face of these white men who need clout for knowing black men or having a black friend. They need clout. White people, your history is savage enough. Stop looking to these black male savages who hate themselves so much for clout. Take pride in being white for once. It's sickening. All of it is sickening. If anyone is part of a solution, If you're part of a solution, you're going to be out here in the world and see how many white people are scrambling to be a part of what is happening in black communities and black societies. Black people are minding our business professionally and effectively for once, and we are still being met with that colonial mindset, but it's just undercover now. It's very undercover, with how white people want to sneak in and creep in and capitalize and monopolize. And um I again, the understand the psychology of the modern black man, where he needs white people to be relevant. He needs to contrast himself with white masculinity, and he needs to show how easy it is to get approval from white women to be relevant. Black women have fully divested, and we have fully made it without the black man's help, and he is not offering us anything. We can go anywhere in the world now with the value and worth that we have and get everything that we deserve. And this is not to knock brothers who have come a long way and who know their worth, but this is my female experience. And so I need to talk about how out of touch a lot of black men are. And I want to talk more on the subject of why white people will be the first to want to integrate, but I really want to kind of move on and talk about some more experiences of, these are like real time experiences, things that have like happened in the past 10 days, to why black men are really out of touch. Um, One black man who wanted to date me, or claimed that he wanted to date me, and then I explained to him pretty much the day he asked, why I was not interested in him and why I did not want to be his girlfriend. And a year later, or two, almost, no, I don't want to say 2 years later, but almost 2 years later, this man has made no changes in his life. Almost is probably in a worse way than when he actually had the nerve to ask me to be his girlfriend, when he has absolutely nothing to offer a woman of worth. And I want to show you all this pattern of the black men who want me to be, or not even just the black men, but the want me to be their girlfriend, when they haven't even taken me on a date. every Everything this brother does is free. He's never taken me on one date, and he asked me to be his girlfriend when he was, after he had been drinking all day, and was causing a scene with a group of other black people, at a classy event, so much so that I had to move tables and sit and to disassociate myself with the ignorant black people who were making all of us look bad at this classy event. This brother, the same brother who couldn't spend $2 to support one of my friend's businesses at an event that I invited people to support my friend, couldn't spend $2 to support her, has never spent one red cent to invest in me or date me, has only ever invited me to free events. The same brother copped an attitude about another event that I was interested in, that he was invited to, but they were charging $100 for the event, and that's why he didn't think he was gonna go, because everything he does is free. I asked him, was he broke? And apparently he bailed his friend out of jail and spent $600 bailing a male friend out of jail. This is how out of touch black men are. This black man who almost 2 years ago wanted to date me would rather spend $600 to get his ignorant, irresponsible friend who gets locked up out of jail, than he would to take a woman that he claims he's interested in on a date. This is the same brother where every time I'm around him, a female is driving him home. A female is doing this or doing that. And these men are asking me to be their girlfriend. They're not asking me on a date. They're not, you know what I'm saying, they're not asking me what I'm interested in, or they're not even asking me what they could do to be more eligible to date me or to make me more interested in them. They're asking me to be their girlfriend when they haven't spent anything except $600 on their male friend to get out of jail. This is how out of touch black men are. And this man, he's not a teenager and he's not in his 20s. He's old enough to keep ruining his life making stupid decisions like that in the name of loyalty to another man. This is the this and this is the type, you know, this more about, and I'm tell these are real, these are real life experiences. This is just one brother. And I'm at a point where I don't give a fuck if y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm doing my best to protect people's privacy, but it's so sickening, and so many black men are doing this stuff that it won't matter because it's every single one of you all in my inbox. Another black man who I friendshipped because of his experience in music expressed interest, invited me out a couple times, not on a date, just to a show or a performance. This same brother, first time we had a phone conversation, couldn't wait to let me know that he was raped as a child. Black men, you have no respect for yourself and you have no respect for the woman that you say that you want to date when you're dragging up your childhood trauma like she's your personal therapist or like she's your fucking mother or sister. If you as a person are not healed, the time to talk about your childhood trauma is not when you're interested in a woman seeing you as someone who can protect and provide for her, and seeing her as someone she may potentially want to have sex with or have a family with. Letting a woman know that you were raped as a child when you claim your interest in her, that you don't have any respect for yourself. You don't talk about your trauma if you're healed from it, and you don't talk about your trauma if you're not getting paid for it. And that's how, again, how out of touch black men are, black people are a lot of times, and just how low class that this man thought that the best foot forward for him to present was letting me know that someone else had his butthole when he was younger, or whatever. That's out of touch. But and then he goes on to send a long message as to I am not expressing interest, and you know he wants to be a man about it, and there's another woman who's expressing interest, that he's interested in this and that, and all I could do is wish him the best, because at the end of the day the best foot forward that he put was not asking me on a date, was letting me know his living situation is not the best right now. This brother has no car to pick me up and take me out, and you want me to know that you're a traumatized black man, probably half homosexual. These the out of real, and this is the energy black men are sincerely bringing to the dating pool. Um oh well um no, like I have more. There's more. Um One of my exes keeps messaging me, calling me a hoe, calling me his hoe, um, wanting pussy, and for me literally offering less than he's ever offered before. And mind you, this is an ex. This is not someone I'm actively involved with. This is not someone I've been involved with for 3 years, I'd say. Um, black these black men will literally text you paragraphs and paragraphs instead of picking up the phone and making a phone call and say, "Hey, I'm sorry about disrespecting you. I'm sorry about the things that I did to push you away and to make you see me as someone who is not eligible to date. I would like a second chance. Can we talk about it?" Or, "Hey, I really wanted to know you better. Are you free this day, that day, this night to go out or do whatever?" they will send you text messages and messages and messages and messages. And the what I mean, honestly, I want black women and women in general, because this is Women's Month. I want you all to comment and share your stories of your dating stories, but especially if you are another sister who is healed, who is elevated, who is on your square and are just are you're if you're just flabbergasted at how out of touch black men are when it comes to dating a black woman. Um, Another brother wanted to date me, invited me to somewhere he worked, and I asked if he was paying for the drinks. He talking about he broke or this that or didn't get paid or whatever. So I told him, I was like, all right, I'll come, but I'm gonna come with someone who's buying my drinks. Um, you know what I'm saying? And then they go on this whole spiel about why, how, if I can, why buy, I don't pay to play, why pay if I can get it for free. This is how out of touch black men are. I need all black men to know this. Please don't come in my inbox if you can get it for free. Call who you can get it for free from. I want all my exes. Stop calling me, you guys. Like, literally, don't text me. I'm not just talking about the one. I'm talking about all of my exes that are of African American descent. Because the only one that ain't in my inbox with some bullshit is the one who had a white mother. So at the end of the day, um, all of y'all like the level of empty boyhood nothingness that you guys years later to where I've grown and I myself. I'm even unrecognizable in my character to who I was even 2 years ago. Um, my taste buds are not even the same. And the to be a woman who continues to grow and to deal with how retarded black men really are. Um, Level of out of touch, black men are genuinely not making it out here. They're not making it, and they think that because we're black that we need them. They think because we're black women that we want to date them when they are half gay. None of them drive. None of these men drive or have cars. And the ones that do also have kids by other women or multiple other women that they didn't marry. You know, um, Black men who have children by other women, want they want you to submit when he couldn't even get the woman he had a baby by to submit to him and didn't want to because he didn't marry her. And some of them tried to, but these women saw once these women have a baby by a man, they were like, I'll just take care of the baby. I'm not gonna raise a baby and a grown man who wasn't raised right. So they opt out of marriage. And this isn't even a black man, but I've had, another date, this guy, he's like, I want to take you to City Hall and marry you. And he want to kiss and smooch all on me and everything. And he didn't care that I was not physically attracted to him. He didn't care. He didn't care that he was not physically attractive or desirable. He cared about the fact that he desired me and what he needed to do to get to buy my attraction. And this is the level of being out of touch where at least non-black men can afford to objectify women. At least non-black men can afford um to waste your time. Black men want to be in your face, tell you all their life story, tell you all their drama like they're your gay boys town friend, like they your Kit Kat lounge friend or some bullshit. They want to sit here and tell you their whole traumatic history like you're their personal therapist being paid by the hour. um and then want you to still see them as manly, want you to still see them as a protector and provider, and then get mad. What I, on the bus, I was on the bus coming home from work last night, and this brother saw me. I guess I don't know why and under what circumstance I gave him my business card. I give my business card out a lot, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he saw me on the train. He's like, "Oh yeah, I had your business card or whatever." So when I go on the bus, he wanted to start telling me his whole fucking life story, but I don't think he really wanted to tell me his life story. I think he was trying to break conversation to get to where he was going, which was asking me to dinner. And mind you, this is not some good looking, upstanding brother with like a nice hairdo and a hat on and dressed nice, or even looking like he just got off of work. You know what I'm saying? To even looking like he even works for a living. He looked like a well-dressed bum, and he presented like a well-dressed bum, and he proceeded to ask me to dinner. And I was as polite as I could be before I got off of the bus, and I just said I don't date men who don't drive. And he's like, "Oh, you're one of those. You date a man for what they have." I was like, "What a man has shows what he's worth." And the level of out of touch that black men are with them not having a home, not having a car, having a bunch of kids that eat up all of their income, not having income. The level of black men who have genuinely nothing but maybe a talent that they're really not making money off of, and maybe a baby or two that they're really not taking care of. Oh, that was the other thing. And literally, these are all the things that have happened to me in the past 10 days. And I'm being generous. This shit has happened to me in the past 5 days. I'm just trying to act like no, like I'm letting you know it's something in the air. With these black men that are grasping for connection to any black woman who will give them any form of energy, whether it's a response to some stupid text message. Hey, friends in the music industry who keeps texting me, hey, for no, you know what I'm saying? We don't even basis. Why are you texting me, hey? I don't know you. And this is the thing, people who knew me or used to know me, or like maybe knew me at one point, who are not in my lives and not involved in anything that I'm doing, you black men keep messaging me like you're involved. Y'all are not involved. You knew me or met me, or maybe we hung out before when I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? And I was busy making a name for myself and doing things, and I didn't require black men to meet a certain standard because I was just in the black community. But a lot of you all don't understand that I grew up around rich white men who, like, I never had to hold the door open for myself, or hold the car door open for myself, or buy anything. Like a lot of you black men, it's like, it's not even comical how out of touch you are. It's actually refreshing to know that when I was a teenager trying to warn black women to stay the fuck away from black men because they hate us, it's actually refreshing to know that I was at least raised right enough to know how a man should treat a woman. And I'm glad that my parents cared enough to make sure that I knew how a man should treat me. Um and and I'm glad that my mom took us away from Cabrini Green and Robert Taylor Holmes and the projects and raised us. And I'm glad that I dealt with extreme racism, because also what came with that is understanding that there are way more white people out here that will help you and elevate you on an individual level than there are white people who are part of a cabal of old world money and they want to keep black people out, or there's a gate, a system of oppression keeping black people out. There's more individual white people who are not going to go out of their way to destroy your life just because you're black, and if you show that you are being an asset, they will help and they will support, regardless of whether you're black. But sometimes, particularly because you're black, and they don't see black people trying to do things to better their own race, and they respect you and they'll support you way before another black person who has a platform, has a podcast, has a famous uncle or cousin or nephew who's in politics that could help you get your brand out there, more so get your message out there, because you know black people do not want to work with you if you're a little prettier or a little smarter, or are raising the bar a little bit higher than they ever intended to go. That level of inferiority with blacks is it's such a real it's such a real thing. um it's such a real thing with black men, and I think, and that's something like a, like I was gonna say, the brother who was in my who this other brother in my inbox, um who's a professional network, who we are working on a project together, proceeds to explain to me how they have kids by their gay female friend, and they're not married, and oh, women don't like me because I'm short, and gave me the whole boohoo, I'm a short guy sob story. You know what I'm saying? And then, even though we're working on a project together, this brother has never actually done any research on me and what my actual skills, talents, and repertoire is that I'm bringing to the project. So when they finally did a little research and they saw my lovely artistic nudes and my lovely beautiful modeling photos, then all of a sudden they felt a spark, and they wanted to know, did I feel a spark of attraction after our last conversation where you explained to me that you're so pathetic that you have to have kids by a gay girl, and now you want to boo hoo because no one wants to date you because you're shorter than 5'10". He wants to know, did I feel a spark? Mind you, he doesn't drive, doesn't own a car, doesn't own a home. He just has two kids out of wedlock by some woman who doesn't want to be with him. She just used him for sperm, or he used her for whatever, and now he wants to know, did I feel a spark? This is how out of touch black men are. I cannot even I and this I'm just these are just the examples of the brothers in my inbox, just this week. If I went through the lifetime, like growing up, I knew black man was trash. um but again, that's because I grew up around predominantly white people, and I saw that black men hated black women. I made sure I was part of the black community because I had to be around black men who love black women. But the thing about Chicago is the black men who love black women, they don't love black women, they need black women. And all I can say to sisters, tell your black men are out of touch story. Explain, because the reason why I went live about this, because for me to give any of these black men an explanation as to why they're just not going to be in my life would take me off of my real role and my real focus, because none of these brothers care. They never cared enough to ask. Another brother, who I've known, um who I've known for a minute. I say for years, but not like maybe 5 years. Say something like that. This brother I've had to block on several occasions because they have stalker vibes. And this brother wanted to convince me that me and him would be good together after bragging about how he's paid his mom's house off and this and that, and bragging about having to give his ex-wife 10 stacks for this and that. This is the same brother that, again, years ago, when I needed a place to stay and came to him, he couldn't help me. But he thinks me and him will be so good together because he lives with his mother. This is a brother who's probably 10 years older than me, living with his mother. At least none of these other brothers who don't own their own home or are not like homeowners, home buyers, at least none of them are actually living with their mama or their baby mama for that matter. At least they're actually just either actual homeless or you know what I'm saying? But this brother was bragging about having money because he lives with his mother. And oh, just because he drives this type, he sat there and said that he was a millionaire. Sat there and said he was a millionaire, living with his mother. And this is how out of touch black men are, to where a lot of you all believe that saying I'm a millionaire, you're so delusional because you believe you're a millionaire because you live with your mother and are paying her bills or paying or she's paying yours, however it is going, to where you can get drunk all day and try and convince me that you're a millionaire and that me and you go good together, even though years ago when you had your chance you couldn't help because you were living with your mother then, and you will be living with your mother 5 years from now, 10 years from now, which frankly I don't think a man who drinks as much as you do is going to be alive 10 years from now. You know who you are. um it, the I don't know, sisters, sure, your black men are out of touch story, because it's not it's the virus is real. The virus of black men touch. And these are not like the black men who are actively hating black women, who are actively looking to destroy your life. And these are the black men who are sincerely trying to date me. Like, and I'm not, oh, no. They're not trying to date me. Mind you, not one single brother except for my ex who keeps trying to convince me that I'm his hoe because he paid my rent years ago. Except for him, none of these black men have taken me on one single date. None of them. None of them have even asked me on a date. They've just invited me out, offered to pick me up from work, offered to hang out and chill. You want to smoke weed, just fuck shit. None of them have actually ever tried to date me. All of these brothers, every single last one that I'm telling you, they have all wanted to skip dating and just, hey, will you be my girlfriend? After I told you I had babies by a gay girl, told you I got raped when I was young, am not in your life, just text message you, hey, twice a year to see if you'll respond. No plans whatsoever. After you have been living with your mother all of your life and you're 60 pushing 70. After, like the, I the it like out of touch. It's clear that black men, these are the same black men that are going to Thailand to give whatever STD that they have to the girls in Thailand. You know what I'm saying? That they think they can, you know what I'm saying? Because you go to another part of Asia and then them Asian men will kill you and lynch you or get you um taken care of, you know what I'm saying, quicker than these white racist dudes will. But you know what I'm saying, you go to these countries where the men don't have any more respect for their women than the black men do. You know what I'm saying? Or these countries that are promoted to American men with money or American women with money to come for the sexual experiences or the exotic experiences. This is why this is the out of touch, where this is why you have passport bros, and um this is why black men this is why how out of touch black men are, is why black men are not going to pursue manhood. They're not going to pursue being a home buyer. Being if you talk to anyone in real estate, they'll let you know that women of color are buying homes quicker, and I would say women in general. But it is not black men buying homes. And you think it would be because so many black men that get money get it with the intention of getting a white wife. Black men who get money, they do it because they understand in order to get a white woman, they have to meet a certain standard. So you got to understand when black men love black women, it's because their whole intention is to or for that black woman to carry him through life like his mother. When black men pursue money, they're actually pursuing white women. That's why they have money. They're not going to give it to black women. Um and again, I'm very much speaking for Chicago as the segregated city. I do not want to talk for any other state or any other city. Because I genuinely believe out of this climate of segregation that black people in other cities and places, I know there's a lot, I know black trash is everywhere, but I know there's way more real unity in other cities. There's way more genuine unity. Black people in Chicago here genuinely, it is genuine. And you other cities don't understand what that's like because you go to other cities, and I'm not gonna speak as if I've been and lived in these other cities, but you go somewhere like Atlanta where black people genuinely stick together, genuinely hold that code, where you as a black person can go and you're not going to experience a certain level of racism unless you actually go out of your way to put yourself in a situation where you're around racist white people. Chicago, you will experience more racism being around black people, and being a black woman is beautiful around other black, you will experience more racism being a skinny black woman around a bunch of black women who are on a weight loss journey. You'll experience more racism being the black woman who that one black guy chose to date, even though all the other black women want to date him or flirt with him or buy his drinks when y'all go out and on dates, and all these other black women do this for him and give him rides home, and he decides that he now wants to date you who has standards. And all of his black female friends, all friends that give him rides home and hang out with him and help him get a job and buy weed from him, you know what I'm saying? And then they see him taking that same money that they be buying, giving him money for weed. They see him taking that same money and buying my drinks with it. They see him taking that same time that he spent with his female friends that help him get a job and mother him and give him all this life advice, and she's like, oh, you took all of that, um elevating you, all of that female energy I was giving you as a friend and elevating you and teaching you manhood, and you took that and decided to date the black woman who is sexy and wears sexy clothes and wears bright blue lipstick to make herself, you know what I'm saying, stand. You took all of my nurturing mother, soul sister, I'm a dress down and dress like one of these, homely hood girls or whatever, saying one of these soul sisters, and you took all of my soulful energy and you decided to give it to the black woman who dresses like she knows her worth. You took all the money I was giving you for weed and you decided to spend it on the black girl who doesn't get weed from you, but she knows her worth, and you're going to buy her drinks with it. Oh, you're taking Uber money to take home that the pretty black girl who requires you to be a man in the situation, even though I'm your friend and I've been giving you rides home from work all this time. And this is how out of touch black men be, bruh. They be using all of these women who'll be around them just because they need the clout of saying, "Oh, I'm helping this black dude. I know this black dude. I'm friends with this black dude. I got a black dude in my corner." All of this paying for black male black dick and playing for black male energy that these barely black women or these unattractive, not sexy black women, or these Latina half black, not really black, or I just need some black dick, all of this paying for black male energy and black male dick, you know what I'm saying, and black male friendship, or let me have a black man in my corner, and you know, I'm gonna do all this for him just to have a black man around. All of this paying for black men in your life bullshit that you women do, and then you want to fight me. Y'all do. I'm telling you guys what has these are all true stories that have happened. Like recently. And you females who pay for black men to be in your life and pay for black men to be your friend, then you want to fight the sexy girl who he's genuinely attracted to, who says, okay, now that I actually want to date a woman and give a woman some rhythm, I'm going to man up and I'm going to make sure she gets home safe through Uber, and I'm going to buy her drinks and I'm going to show up as an actual man. And what am I saying with out of touch? A lot of you black men, you keep jealous, I'm desperate for black male energy women around you, and then you want to date a high value woman. You want to date a high value woman. You hang around drug addicts and women who need you for this and for that, and you're the you know what I'm saying, and then you want to date a high value woman in these women's face. It, this is how out of touch you black men are, to where even when you're using non-black women, or you're using other, you're using ugly black women, you know what I'm saying, you a lot of you brothers are just so out of touch with any level of any character traits that are needed for a woman to even see you as a potential partner. Let's take a half black dude who I dated, who I went on a date with. This wasn't recent, this was over a month ago. But let's take a half black dude who I went on a date with. Loved the date so much. I checked all of his boxes. He didn't even ask me which box of mine he checked, because he was so thrilled that I was checking all of his boxes. And then contact him, and he, because one, he text messaged me after the date. He never called me and said, hey, I'm our plans. He text messaged me like a loser when they're casual and they're couch potatoes, and they um, do bare minimum. And more particularly, they are so used to those little half white features making women's panties wet, because of how they look, and because they're handsome, and because they have a job that's a little bit better than the actually black men. They got a little better than the actually black men who can't get paid as much, unless he's showing to his company that he's dating, married to a white woman to keep his job, or unless he shows the company, hey, I'm gay and I'll let these white men run up my butt to keep my job. Sisters, you know what's going on in corporate America with black men. Y'all know they only get hired to sleep with the white people half of the time. Um, they're gonna do everything in your power to keep the black man away from the fine black woman. And even at my job, these brothers will still find their way to come into my department and get in my fucking face. No matter how hard these corporate people want to keep up the one black man who works there away from the fine black woman, they will find a way to get in your face. You know what I'm saying, sisters? It, which is fine, but at the end of the day, a lot of black men are out of touch with the real agenda to segregate black men and black women. And black men, I guess what I'm saying is, um if 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 you're one of these fine brothers who's so used to women being so thrilled with how fine you are that they don't care anything about your character, um brothers, the what you need to, what y'all, peace, Ida. Hey, Tyrone, I forgot to say hi to you when you first showed up, so thank you for being here. um I'm it's dark in here. I'm trying to, let me just turn the light on. I started this upload before it got dark, and I've been talking for a little bit, so hopefully that looks better. Peace, Ida, cancel. Um, so again, for you brothers who are so fine that you're used to not having to bring any character traits to the table, and you're used to just being able to be a casual bum, because the women does all the work because she's so thrilled to be with you. Here's a hint of advice. If you see a woman who's checking all your boxes and your character is trash, just ask her how much money she needs. I don't know why you guys will sit here and listen to me talk about myself, and I do hip hop, I have a brand, I make soap, I make jewelry, I give spiritual readings, and that I also work for a living. If I'm checking all your boxes, why didn't you ask me how much my rent was? Why didn't you ask me how much money I need for my phone bill this month? Why I don't understand why men who have money have such poor character that you're so out of touch with what your role is as a man, that you will sit there and listen to a fine woman talk about all the work she does and not say, hey, all right, well, you're checking all my boxes, I really like you, I'm gonna take care of your phone bill this month, and let me know when I can see you again. They can do that. um but because black men are so out of touch with reality, black men are genuinely out of touch with black women. They will just sit there and watch you work. Sit there and just because the black men, you all genuinely believe you the way white these desperate white women and these really more women. It's really not, the white women ain't checking for y'all like that. Y'all is checking for the white girls for validation. The white women know that they can get you, so they're not white women aren't chasing black men anymore. Up. They're just showing up and taking them out of the community. White women aren't really. I mean, I guess showing up in black areas would be kind of chasing after a black man. But what I see more so is brown women, women who are not black enough to know how much black men hate black women, and women who are not white enough to know how a man should treat a woman. You brown women are so thirsty for black dick that you are doing all these things for black men. You know what I'm saying? You black men, you expect a black woman to behave like a woman who is looking for clout from black men. We as black women, we're already black. We don't need you for clout, black men. We don't need you for clout. We don't need you for dick. We're already black. We already have that black energy. We don't need you to inject us with your blackness to feel like women. We're black women. We need your money. We need your protection. And I'm saying this live because I'm not going to reduce myself to someone's mother by explaining this to any of you black men in this moon phase that have really um shown that the smallest bit of access you have to a powerful black woman, you're going to go out of your way to disrespect it. You're going to go out of your way to say, can I fuck you for free? Because I have, can I fuck you for free because we're working on a project together? Fuck you for free because we're riding the train together? Can I fuck you for free because we both are employees of this company? Can I fuck you for free because you know my friend? Can I fuck you for free because I have a talent and I have a show this weekend at this venue? Can I fuck you for free because I really, really like you? Literally, like, I'm not gonna explain to you guys why I'm not bonding. I'm gonna go live and explain to the world how out of touch black men really are, and how there's something about this moon phase that is making me to urge black women to teach your daughters to stay the fuck away from black men. If you're an American black woman, teach your daughters to stay away from black men. Raise your daughters in a white society. Raise your daughters in a white society. I don't care about your sons. They're gonna have a bunch of pick me shit black women helping them by the time they're 15 or 20, or you know what I'm saying. They're gonna have a bunch of Latina women buying their dick, and you know what I'm saying, they're not really gonna be black anyway because half of them have white mothers if they're American. They're probably not really black any they're not probably not black anyway because his mom's probably white. But if you are a black woman, meaning your children are black, because you know the mother has to be black for the children to be black. If you're a black woman of African descent in America and you are deciding to do the worst thing you can do, which is have a black daughter in America instead of in Africa or in Europe. I can't vouch for Asia, but I will be there soon. Can't wait. But if you're a black woman who's gonna do the dummy and have a black daughter in America instead of in Africa or in Europe, where she will be respected as a black woman, um, and not objectified like you might get in South America or Asia. I mean, really respected in what I'm saying. Asia, I don't. This is why I'm saying this. South America is the colorism is not really going anywhere. But you know, so it's not much different than North America to where it's like if you're not part of a particular society that celebrates black women, you're screwed. And you know, the respect for women there is kind of it's a bit abstract, whereas in Europe the men respect themselves as men, to an extent. And Asia, yeah, there's a bit of sexism there. You know, I would say Africa is a place where the men respect themselves as men, and they, you know, they have rules and regulations that keep the women feminine and keep the women protected. Same within Europe. I would say the culture there. Asia, I don't know that they see black people as equal so much as we're something exciting. Um, Same thing with South America, you know, the colorism and the combination of colorism and poverty. I mean, what are you really getting different than North America except hot weather? Um, Racism and hot weather. Yay. It's better in the cool weather because they shoot less when it's cold outside. So I guess the gist of this upload is sincerely from the bottom of my heart, if you're a actually black woman of African descent, you decide to have a black daughter or you decide to have children and one of your children is a daughter, a female, um, keep her away from black men. Keep her away from black men, train her to not date black men. So when she grows up and she's able to make her own decision, she at least knows and understands how a man should treat her. Why am I saying that? I as hard as my relationship with my mother has been, I gotta thank my mom for taking me away from the savage black men that she and women that she grew up around and honoring me enough as her child and honoring herself enough to say, I'm not raising my children in this filth. I would rather deal with racist people and let my children have an education. And my father supported that. And I'm grateful that I have parents who at least loved me enough, as hard as my life has been, at least my parents loved me enough to raise me around rich white people or, you know, just around a better society. And that's because of segregation. I'm sure if we were in a different place, they would be rich and it wouldn't just be rich white people, but in a place where it's segregated, if the real resources are where white people are and you have access to them, at least you loved me enough to take me to where the resources were. And I think that's a better way for me to say than to say rich white people. But what I mean when I say rich white people, I'm saying to where the resources were. The fact that so many that all my childhood was filled with the black people telling me I spoke like a white girl, that was a privilege. That was a flex. And that was just me speaking English. That was before I started speaking Spanish and French and all this other stuff. And I've done myself a disservice by not traveling. That's going to change this year, but don't don't raise your daughter around black people. Raise your daughter around where the resources are. Where the resources are, meaning raise her where people have money and people have wealth, and where she understands and is going to be around men and boys who are groomed to be men. Black men are groomed to be their mother's personal slave. Black men are groomed to be their mother's personal slave. And that level of being out of touch, and what that bring and what that looks like sometimes is, it doesn't always look like he's living with his mother, but it'll look like a brother who wants you to be his girlfriend, who's never taken you on a date, who expects you to just like him because he's tall and he's dark and he's handsome a little bit, but also because he thinks that that's all he has to bring to the table, because that's all he had to bring to his mother. He just existed for his mother. He didn't have to be a man. He feels because he had to be a man of the house for his, he's a, raise your black daughter around black men, because she's gonna be one of these black girls who is paying for him and doing all this, and is, she gets put in the friendship zone, and then when he sees the woman, in a lot of cases, it's not going to be a woman who looks like me. It's not going to be the black woman who's just finer than all of the other black girls around. It's not going to be the black girl who's really spiritual and really classy and really fine. It's just going to be a white girl. It's not going to be Black High Priestess that he's picking over the other black pick Mishas that he friend zoned because they had no self-worth. It's gonna be a white girl. It's gonna be an Asian girl. It's gonna be a racist Latina girl. It's not gonna be Black High Priestess that he's picking over the other black women who just don't have the self-worth. He's gonna be a straight non-black woman. That he's gonna take all of your black daughter's resources of her saying, oh, well, I love black men so much that I'm just gonna give him all of my friendship. You know what I'm saying? For him to be a man to the woman he, when he actually and decides, okay, I'm ready to be a man, okay, I'm ready for a girlfriend, you're the one that I want, you're the one who I actually want to sleep with. And that's how out of touch black men are. It's like when y'all actually be ready to be, y'all get so much validation from these women who just need male energy, that they'll be your whole mama as a friend. And you know what I'm saying, and they think they got you wrapped around their finger because they're your friend and they're this that, and then when you guys decide you want to sleep with, when y'all decide you want to sleep with the woman who has self-respect, the woman who understands how to behave single, with the woman who's not going to be friends with a bum, with the woman who's not going to, consider a guy a friend because you guys I'm not listen, you don't raise your daughters around no niggas. Because they're just going to end up growing up to be pick mishas who are desperate for black dick, who will do anything for a black man in the name of black, in the name of what? Who will do anything for a black man to get some clout. And a lot of you women, the reason you black women do this stuff for black men is because y'all are looking for the same street cred clout that these non-black women be looking for when they be wanting to be around. You black women, y'all don't have no real flavor and no real sauce. And a lot of y'all have not had to be in the streets for nothing, for Nathan. And that's why y'all be paying for black dick too, because a lot of you black women is just the privileged. Y'all came from two-parent household and cars and shit, weird shit. I know it's not y'all frat girls, because you frat girls, you get married to the black men and like to brag about it like you're better than the darker women who you think you're so much better than them because they didn't lighten their skin to pay for to be in a fraternity to get not, I'm not talking about the frat girls who think that they're better than dark skinned black women. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about the frat girls who have all these arrangements. But other than frat girls who are part of the Masonic shit, um, Masonic, the part of the satanic shit. aside from the frat girls and who, the Christianized frat girls, you black women be having real privilege. You don't come from the streets, and y'all are desperate for like street black male energy because y'all have not struggled either. Y'all be having whole college degrees and actively choose to become baby mamas. I have sat here and talked about how out of touch black men are, but I haven't even gone into, the black women who sleep with these type of men. And again, I'm before y'all come at me, the only one is my ex. These five, how many other brothers I done told you about? These are men who wanted me to be their girlfriend. Haven't so much as kissed these dudes. Maybe one of them I might have kissed. Might have actually dated. But these are men who have never even taken me on one date. And I need to say something before I end this. The black women who sleep with these type of black men, the black women who sleep with black men who need pick mishas. This is the other thing. Black women, stay away from black women who sleep with these type of black men. Stay away from black women who sleep with these out of touch and savage black men, because what these bum black men are injecting into the women that they sleep with and the women that they play these games with, they're injecting their same worthlessness and their same hatred and their same low self-esteem, and genuinely their same undercover hatred for black women, their undercover hatred for successful black women who have made it without black men. You get what I'm saying? The black men who secretly hate black women who have done okay without his help. The ones who hate us for achieving what he couldn't without help. That hatred that these black men have for successful black women, he's injecting that into the women who will sleep with him. And what's going to happen is these women that he's actually sleeping with, whether it's physically or whether it's through energy vampirism. Sorry it took me an hour to get spiritual, but whether it's through energy vampirism or whether it's through intercourse, you must stay away from these women who hang around bum black men, because they will try to fight you as a black woman who knows, as a high value woman who knows your worth. And this is beyond race at this point, but I think a lot of feminine women have learned to avoid groups of black women. Avoid groups of black women, avoid black women who are not surrounded by higher class people, by white people, by non-black people. Avoid groups of black women unless it is like let me not give no fucking disclaimers at this point. Let me not even give no disclaimers. And I'm only going to speak for America, and I'm going to speak for Chicago. I'm not going to give no disclaimers like talking about women's retreats and certain events that are designed for safe spaces for black women, because a lot of times those be the main places where you're going to be around a bunch of unhealed, disgusting energy black women who are going to be nice and kind up front, but they're full of demons. When I say avoid groups of black women, I really have to say that from the bottom of my heart. If you are a feminine black woman, and sometimes if you're a feminine woman, if you are not being paid and if there's no security, don't don't be in a place where there's going to be groups of black women and black men, fine black men. Black women who sleep with bum black men are going to try and fight you, because the man that they're sleeping with, he's injecting her with his low self-esteem, his insecurity, his inability to get a high value woman. And so when these black women who sleep with these low class black men just to say they have a black man, or just to have a black man in her life, they're going to try and fight you for coming around with positive energy. They're going to fight you for coming around with femininity. Women who are dealing with uh low class black men are masculine women. And if they're not, they're going to become a masculine woman by lowering her standards and becoming his mother. And what she's going to do is she's going to see you as a threat to her son. When a mother feels her children are threatened, what does she do? She starts fighting. Her hormones kick in and she turns into some ravaging, savaging, snarling beast, spitting and chewing at the mouth, snarling out for its next meal. That's the inherent nature of a lot of black women who are dealing with bum black men. They are snarling beasts, and they are being injected with that low class, low self-esteem, and you know what I'm saying, they're that black man's inability to get a high value woman, that's being injected into her. So she's going to see a high value woman as a threat, and she's going to automatically hormonally want to fight any woman who is feminine. Any woman who is feminine, she's going to want to fight, because you being around are a threat to the only dick that she can get. And why is that only dick she can get? Because she has no self-worth. When she heals, if she chooses to, but you, as a feminine woman, you got to be careful of going around groups of black women. There is an energy, there is a suffering of that black women do not know how to heal from, other than fighting the women who have healed. Black women who have healed from trauma, black women who have healed from racism, black women who have healed from black man's hatred, black women who have healed from their mother's hatred or other black women's hatred of them. Black women who are healed are a threat to black women who don't want to do the work. And you know when a black woman is not doing the work by the man she's involved with or by the men she keeps around. You when a if you're a healed black woman and you're really 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 in your femininity and you're really in your safe space, the first thing another black woman is going to want to do is take away your safety and security, because she no longer feels safe when she's around you. The energy you're bringing around groups of black women, you're bringing femininity around women who society has told and shown you're not worthy of marriage, you can't get a man, the only men you can get are going to beat on you, cheat on you, have babies by you and not marry you. And when you're dealing with women who deal with these men on a regular basis, and they're taking on this masculine motherhood energy just to have black men in their life, those women will try and fight you. Why? Because black women inherently love to fight. White women don't. White women are inherently feminine. And as much as a white woman is going to want to fight you, that's not how she's going to first go to solve the problem of you being women and her man seeing that he can have a better option than you. White women do very different things. The white one the other day, you know what I'm saying, who chose to try and interrupt my conversation with the two other white sommeliers that I was having, and trying to do the gestures of, let me shake your hand and put my angle to you and cut you out. What white women do is they'll come up, they'll interrupt a conversation you're having with a black man or any man, and they'll try and use body language to cut you out of the conversation. But what they're not going to do is necessarily they're not going to act like Basketball Wives or Housewives of Atlanta, or they're not gonna act like these reality TV show black women where they're going to start talking with their hands. And black women like to provoke other black women, and then black women like to get physical. um because black women are masculine. And white women, as racist as they are, they have enough respect for themselves and their society, unless they are a pure blood Karen, unless they are full blood Karen, one of these yuck mouth white trash bred Karens who acted like, on the plantation where it was lawless and they could just do whatever to black people and there were no standards. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the like European aristocrat descendants who have standards for how they behave, even if they're trying to cut out a certain group of people from entering wealth. Yuck mouth Karens will spit on you and do all the stuff that black women do. And this is where black women learned it. Black people behave like savages because white low class people had stewardship over us during slavery. And our ignorance comes from the low class white people who were our slave masters. So anytime you see a Karen spitting and fighting and getting physical with black men or with black women when they see them in public, every time you see a ghetto black woman with long nails and talking ghetto and smacking her gum and ready to fight another black woman or trying to fight a white girl, but a lot of times they're going to hesitate to fight a white girl because they know a consequence might come with that. Um, these black women learned it from these Karen slave owner descendants. That's where black people learn how to be ignorant savages. The African does not behave that way. The African does not behave that way. Um, and I'm not gonna stretch it so far to there's not certain tribes and cultures that have certain traits that we as African Americans take on. Um, but when it comes to this hatred, black people learned it from slavery. And this is why I say stay away from groups of black women if you're in your feminine energy. Um, these women be sleeping with these black men who hate black women, who use black women, who cheat on black women, and who, when they do get money and when they do get put on, they will give it to a white girl or they'll go for a woman who's half his age or something else. They're not going to give back to the black women who build them up. That's a real one. A real nigga from the real streets is not gonna fuck over his family and his ride or die and his day ones for nothing. These are not no real niggas out here. These are not no real gangsters out here. Unless you're talking about the satanic takeover of the gangs that used to be about protecting the community. Because there are some gangbangs that still go and will still ride down the block, throwing it up, letting everyone know you're safe, I'm here. There are still gangbangers who go by that fucking code of I need y'all to know that I'm here to let y'all know I'm on the block. Not just these dudes who want to let you know they're on the block because they need you to buy some weed or whatever else from them. Not these drug dealing gangbangers. Not that they're not all selling whatever they have to sell, for the regiment, but I'm just saying um it's not safe for feminine women to be around groups of black women. Um because and um in my experiences, I can be the only black person in a situation with white people, and I'm used to that, so it doesn't freak me out to do that. But white women are a lot more friendlier, a lot more open. They'll come up to you. I'm not saying there's not the snobbiness, but especially no, it's not age related. Any age of white women, they're friendlier, they're nicer, they're not threatened by black women unless they are. And the only reason they would be threatened by another black woman is if she's has a black husband. The only white women that act funny are the ones with a black husband. And half the time in real white societies, predominantly white societies, half the time she not acting like that either. Half the time, the white women with the black husband ain't acting funny either. Half the time, the black dude who's married to a white woman is going to act up when he sees a black woman. He's going to start to be ashamed of himself and he's going to act up before his white wife will. White women do not have problems with black women the way black women have problems with black women. White women don't have those problems, and when they do, it becomes so obvious that they make themselves look bad in front of everyone when they go out of their way to try to publicly shame or try to embarrass or try to like humiliate or eliminate the black girl in the room, which happens a lot. But if I counted how many racist experiences that I've had with white women, I've had genuine racist experiences. I've caught a bouquet at a white wedding, and the bride's mom came and took it out of my hand and gave it to her other white daughter. These are things that a lot of you black women don't have the strength to deal with, and that's why you fight other black women, because a lot of you black people, you're not equipped to fight racism. You all are weak and you're savage and you have become the bigger problem. And it's it's still, even with the harshest racist experience, and there was no black man to defend me. There was no black women to defend me. You know who defended me when that happened? Another white girl. Another white girl. So what I'm saying is, just as many racist experiences that you're going to have with white women, there are more white women who will counteract that, who will elevate you, who will let you tell their story on their platform. And none of them are dating black men. The white women that will really help you, none of them are dating black men. They genuinely are girls. Genuinely. You're not going to get that from a black woman. The black woman is going to fight everyone's fucking battle except her own. What does that mean? The black woman is going to ride or die for black men that hate her. The black woman is going to ride or die for the homosexual community that's capitalizing off of her entire character. The black woman is going to ride or die for brown and Latina women and Kim Kardashian, and Marilyn Monroe I like Marilyn and shit, but you get what I'm trying to say. The black woman is gonna ride or die for these white female figures that use your features to get black men before she's gonna ride or die for the black woman's cause and the black woman's necessities. A lot of black women don't love black women because they hate being black. And a lot of black women are very threatened by another black woman who is feminine. Black women are not feminine. They do everything for a black man. They will do everything. They will wipe his ass for him. He can fart, and black women will go to the store and buy a fucking fan and bring it to him so he don't have to smell his own fucking fart. That's how much black women have no other real agenda other than sniffing black farts, mimicking white women, and getting. Black women is not feminine. Black women understand femininity. They're going to try to fight it. Black women be loving to fight, and they only go for the feminine women. They never want to fight the other masculine women who want to fight. They always want to fight the black cat energy woman who is living in her femininity. They want to steal other women's femininity. If you're black, if you're a white woman, a lot of times black women are going to leave you alone. Um, a lot of times a black woman's going to leave you alone unless she is in a space, again, unless she's around a bunch of other black women, and they're going to they can mob up, and that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, if you're feminine, protect your femininity by avoiding groups of black women, because they probably are pick me shoes, and they're probably in, avoiding groups of women who are non-black but all are with black men. Avoid groups of non-black women who all of them have black men. That's a cult. That is a cult. And there is forming a spiritual cult of butch black women, masculine, not butch in the homosexual sense, but there's the cult of the of pick me there's a cult of black women who want to fight feminine black women. Black women who are fighting to keep feminism, who are fighting to keep black men marginalized, to where black men don't decide, you know what, I want a feminine woman. I'm going to step my game up to get a feminine woman. I'm going to step into my masculine energy to get a feminine woman. And once I step into my masculine energy, I'm no longer going to respect myself. um I meant, I'm no longer going to disrespect myself. Once I have a feminine woman elevating me, once, what I'm saying, once a black man decides that he wants the feminine woman, and once he decides he wants to step into his manhood, he's going to want a feminine woman. And once he decides he wants a feminine woman, he's going to step into his manhood, and he's going to start protecting and start providing, and he's going to start rejecting women who are paying for him, doing all these things for him, because he values the feminine woman and he values that relationship with her. And he's going to set boundaries with women who don't value themselves, who value him more than they value themselves. This is why black women like to fight feminine women. Because when feminine women come along, we awaken something in black men. We awaken something in black men that a lot of black women are genuinely taking advantage of black men. And you may not look at it like that, because he's not doing anything for her. He's just using her for this and using her for that. No, she's taking advantage of how stupid he is. A lot of times she's just getting that male, she's paying for that male energy. She's taking advantage of his stupidity, of his condition. Black women like to mother. Black women like to control and manipulate. So, like men. So you present a black man with feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? The black women who are controlling him through mothering him, they're not gonna like you breaking that spell that she has over him. And so they're gonna try and fight you. I'm letting you know, there's never been a time in my life where a black woman has not tried to fight me over the black men that liked me. Whether it was her son, whether it was her brother, whether it was her ex, or her friend that liked me, who was prettier, or prettier and more feminine. Black women like to fight. They do. They like to fight feminine women. And if you're around groups of black women and there's black men around, be careful. Those black women are going to fight you for that black man's attention. Especially if there's groups, especially if they're in a group. Especially if they're in a group. And you're not going to experience this with white women. White women will practically worship you. Sometimes it will be a little disingenuous, and sometimes it'll be a humiliation tactic. But a lot of times, white women will genuinely worship you and genuinely just, they will, if they're talking about your blackness or talking about your features, it's really like a girl thing, or like, oh my God, your hair's so nice, and wow, I love your skin. That makeup looks so good on you. I really like this. Yeah, I wish I could wear that, blah, blah, blah. And that can open up a lot of conversations to where you're gonna, some of y'all are gonna have a lot more in common with white women than you are with a black woman who's on a healing journey, on a weight loss journey, who wants to fight for a man. Black women love fighting for men. And this is why black men are out of touch, because they have so many black women and non-black women fighting other women for them, that they genuinely believe all they have to do is say, "Hey, will you be my girlfriend?" Because what they're saying is, I'm not going to offer you anything, but I want the right to take you off the market, and I want the right to fuck you and take you off the market for other men without doing absolutely anything. And the reason they're that out of touch is because they 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 grew up around niggas. They grew up around niggas. They grew up around niggas. They hang around niggas. The and the women around them want them to be a nigga, so they can take advantage of them, or so they can, just they just want to keep a black man around. And ladies, stop paying to have black male energy around you. It's not worth it. Honestly, get in white societies and get around men who have money, because when you're around black men who don't have money, you're playing a really dangerous game with your femininity. You're risking your entire femininity when you involve yourself with black men who are broke. And I mean that. If he does not have a house and a car and a career, you have got to seriously think about blocking his that type of energy unless you're getting paid to be around it. Ladies, you don't have to be friends with no bums either. I don't why are you black women friends with bums? What are you getting from these conversations where these black men are telling you their whole life story? Like, these are not y'all friends. These are niggas y'all met at work at some job, and he was like the only other black guy, or he was the nice black guy who got along. He seemed nice because he was the only one who wasn't talking to the white girl, so he seemed nice. It's like, black women, is it really that easy to become friends with y'all? Do y'all really be responding like the hey text messages from dudes who are supposed to be business owners and professionals, you know what I'm saying? But they just want to check on you every so often to see for nothing. Not talking about business, not talking about no motherfucking money, not ain't paid one of your bills. I when I like I need I Black women, don't raise your daughters around niggas. Don't raise your daughters around anyone but like rich non-black people. If you're going to be in Chicago and have kids, you must raise your black daughter somewhere else. Otherwise, like, I, she has to be around and understand that even a gay man who genuinely is not interested in sleeping with you, even he, if you're just his friend, he's paying for the drinks. He's driving the car. He's protecting and providing because you're a female. And if you raise your daughters around these black boys, she's gonna learn to be gaslit and manipulated, and to be his and to be pimped out, to be pimped out. And these black men be hustling and pimping out women they not even fucking. Got bitches buying they lunch and running errands for them and shit, just to say, yeah, oh yeah, I'm friends with a black dude. Black women, y'all better make these niggas pay to be your friend. Make them pay to have a conversation. Make them pay to be in your inbox. How you put something on y'all inbox to make these motherfuckers have to pay to even say, hey, how you doing? What you doing? Did you feel a spark? Because I saw one of your beautiful modeling pictures. Did you feel a spark even though I don't drive? And I have kids and no money and no car and no home and no career? But hey, did you feel a spark after we had a conversation of me telling you how broke I am? Like, y'all, I can't even. I had to go live because if I showed y'all my inbox, if I showed y'all my fucking inbox right now, like I can't even explain the retarded black male energy that is like black men. Stop hanging around black women who are mothering you because you guys are bringing your pampered boy attitude to high value women. And we're not even gonna respond. I'm not gonna raise you like these other black women do, and they explain to you what went wrong and how to do this and all. Black women be coaching they black male friends and shit just for him to get on and get a nice outfit and get all this manhood to want to date the black high priestess instead of yo pick Misha bummy at mother and ass. Some of y'all bitches don't even have kids and you mother. And I can understand you why you baby moms mother. Black women who have children out of wedlock, or even some of them who need to be divorced. Y'all attitude is mother. All y'all, every situation you go into, y'all trying to control everything. It's pathetic. But I let it happen too. I see how black men get over it. When I be around black women who want to control everything and want to mother and want to talk all that shit about what they done and what they know. I just sit back and I sit back, let them do all the work too. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that gives them worth of feeling powerful, and it puts me in my feminine energy when black women like to mother situations. It honestly, I kind of started to like it because it makes me look so much more feminine. And I already look feminine, but it makes me look like so much more younger when a black woman's like actually still my age, but she has kids and she's acting like it. Y'all act like it. Y'all act like somebody's mother every chance you get. And then you want to act like my mama too. Thank y'all. Cause you're just making me look like a fucking teenager. And it really helps. It really helps. But if you are a mother and you follow me and you want to stay in your feminine energy, stop it. Start acting like a single white girl. Stop going and announcing you're a mother by controlling and trying to teach everybody everything. I stopped answering questions about my brand too. Book a reading. I'm not going to sit here and have a conversation about what a black high priestess is. If you're not in the occult, you have to book a reading to learn. I'm not going to teach you for free. I'm out having drinks. I don't know why people um no, I do know why people treat me like a celebrity because I'm the most exciting thing that they've ever seen in their life. And a lot of times I go out and that's how people treat me. If it's for no other reason than me wearing blue lipstick. But before I wore blue lipstick, people would treat me that just because how I looked. And a lot of times it's because I'm this beautiful black woman who's in a place where people don't see a lot of black women. You know what I'm saying? Or people don't see a lot of black women who actually are educated and are not here because they of their tax return. Um, I Black men, y'all are out of touch. And if you want to get back in touch, stop letting black women mother you. Stop letting non-black women pay for you to be their friend. And stop chasing after white women for validation. And start asking single black women what is required to be in our life. Start asking us what is required for you to take me seriously as a man. Start asking us up front, I really like you, I'm attracted to you. What do you require? And to the black men who have asked me that, who do come correct and who have asked me what does it require for me to be in your life, or to the black men who were really interested but the way you expressed your interest was by booking a reading and learning about me, and you haven't slept with me but you've been supporters from day one of my brand because you actually respect me. Thank you. Thank you. You all are the men that I respect. I respect you black men who have supported my business and have respected me enough to say, you know what, you're a little out of my league, or you know what, I got a baby mama and I got this, that. I'm not really stable. I think you're beautiful, but let me actually help you with your business instead of wasting your time. Let me help you with your business and let me spend it, because a lot of black men with kids have money, and they choose to be broke because they're supporting their kids. But black men with kids will come out of their pocket to support business and stuff. They do. Or black men who want kids have a better sense of where their money goes and have a better sense of, let me invest my money in a feminine woman. Um than a lot of black men who are still living with their mother and don't have any responsibilities of a child. So I want to thank a lot of you brothers who are genuinely spiritual brothers and genuinely have supported my spiritual brand without trying to waste my time in a relationship. And unfortunately, some of you brothers are the ones that I would have considered because your character is high value. I would have considered a lot of you brothers who were too fucking afraid to really ask or invest in a relationship, because a lot of you brothers, you're not secretly married like some of you brothers who come at me, or I don't want to say secretly married. You're not married and secretly in my inbox, like some of you brothers are. A lot of you brothers with kids, or you brothers who have supported my brand, a lot of you all are healthy. You may not have the most to offer, but you guys eat healthy. You don't use profanity. You actually respect black women, and your lifestyle is, you go out of your way to elevate black women. I would have considered you just because of how you live, but you were too insecure to ask me out. You had to ask out someone a little uglier and a little, um who takes care of himself a little bit less, because it was a little easier for you. A lot of you brothers who have genuinely good personalities, you're too good and you will finish last because you don't know your worth, and you are afraid. You're afraid of the feminine woman. You all are too used to you. No, the ones who don't come at me are the ones who should. And all the black men in my inbox, not all of them, but most of them, most of you guys in my inbox, um you need to go back to your wife, you need to go back to your baby mama, and you need to go back to the white woman that you're secretly sleeping with. A lot of you black men who are involved in a lot of things, and you secretly are sleeping with white women even though you're involved in these black community events. A lot, you guys think I don't know this, and you think we don't know this, but we do. You sleep with white women on the weekends. You date white women, and you live in the communities, and they creep over your houses and stuff, and you have all these brands and products and you and podcasts and whatever, but you guys, you sleep with white women. You know what I'm saying? You have a baby mama and a white girlfriend, and you still want me. You still want to try your chance with me. A lot of you brothers, you need to go back to, you need to stop trying to cheat on your girlfriends. And you need to stop. You brothers who are not single, but you brothers who are not single but don't have in a relationship on your Facebook status because you convinced Pick Misha that marriage is just a piece of paper, don't matter, or that you convinced her to shack up and live with you, and then you want to come in my inbox acting like you're single, but you can't date, or what I'm saying, you can't really, you got a girlfriend, stay with your girlfriend. Stop trying to cheat on your girlfriend. Stop trying to cheat on your wife. Um, and a lot of you black men, I know why they say black men don't cheat, because a lot of black men who are looking for a side chick, your wife, I know sometimes your wives are doing a lot and they're trying their hardest to push you away. I know one thing about black women really start to resent the men who get them pregnant. They really start to resent these men. Black women will really start to resent the black men that she has a baby by, and it's the children that suffer. I know a lot of you black men are fed up, and that's why you're looking for a side piece. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying you can't afford me. You have poor character, you don't got no game, and you all don't have enough money to keep a woman in her submissiveness and to make a woman see you as valuable. um the black men who have real character, you guys are so good that you're afraid to show interest in a sexy woman. And a lot of you black men, you're taught by your mothers to hate femininity. You're taught that feminine women are stuck up and feminine women are this or that. And that's why you all go for and you get trapped up by these masculine women who like to fight. You all are coasting through life by having masculine women who like to fight as your girlfriends or wives or baby mamas. And that's going to keep you in a spiritual loop. And a lot of times, that's why your business fails. That's why you keep getting fired from your jobs. That's why you keep getting sick. That's why every time you get a place, something goes wrong, the pipes break, or this goes wrong, or that goes wrong. That's why with you black men, every time you go for a feminine woman, that's why something goes wrong to where your money gets fucked up. Because you sleep with too many masculine black women who hate women. You sleep with too many masculine, mothering black women who hate femininity, who hate feminine black women. And every time you want to break free from that and become a man and step into your manhood, and every time you come at a feminine, sexy woman, something goes wrong where your money gets fucked up, doesn't it? Every time you go for the feminine woman. You break your phone, you lose your job, you crash your car, you this or that, you this or that. And what is always going to happen every time you date a feminine woman and you got a baby mama who's not? Every time you date a feminine woman and you got a baby by a woman who's masculine, your son or daughter is going to get sick, especially your daughter. Your daughter's going to get sick when you start to fall in love with a feminine woman. Your children are going to feel sick because they're going to feel the resource of your love going to a feminine woman, and they're going to feel that sense of, oh no, daddy may not protect and provide for mommy. And your kids might feel it before the mother does, because a lot of you all are really there for your kids. You're not there for the woman. That's why your kids are going to fall sick the moment you fall in love with a feminine woman. Um, and that's okay because a child is innocent until they're not. But, you know, under like that's a sensitive thing, and that's something that people need to be aware of. And this is why I urge people, don't get involved in no messy stuff. These men have babies by women that they don't even like, and these men have babies by women who were too immature to understand motherhood, and they started hating that man the moment she got pregnant, the moment she had a baby. Her hormones changed, she was too immature to deal with it, and now she hates that man for some odd reason and doesn't want to marry him. Now she doesn't want to marry him, and now we have a broken home, and ladies, when you get involved with these men, um understand what you're getting into. If you're dealing with a man who has kids by one of these angry black women. All right. So I don't know this whole Umar Johnson drama and stuff. But look at Umar Johnson as an example of how out of touch black men are, and how black men are publicly, you know, I'm not taking away from his psychology teachings, but as a black man in these publicly showing that they're out of touch with the black community, that they're out of touch with black women, excuse me, and that they're really out of touch with their own masculinity. Black men have no masculinity. All the black man's masculinity is in the woman that he sleeps with. She's masculine. He's giving her his masculinity so he doesn't have to do anything in life, so he can continue to sit around and be the princess that he is, be the pudgy princess that he is. Because you always know when a black man got a women doing shit for him, because he'll be overweight. Black men who work out and take responsibility, they're either gay, sleeping with white women, or they're taking responsibility for their manhood. They were probably raised right. They were probably raised in a place where they had a good physical education, sports system. They probably came from a black school where they were told to put all their merit in being an athlete. Either way, they still understand discipline. If he has muscles, he understands discipline. If he's pudgy, he's probably got a bunch of black women doing shit for him. So I didn't see too many questions. That's my message for Friday. Black women, think about getting your daughters as far away from niggas and predominantly black communities as possible. Think about making sure your daughter, if your daughter's 25 or younger, if your daughter's between the ages of 15 and 25, black women, get your daughter out of America and get your daughter away from black people. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Get your daughter in a high class society where she can be around real men. It is dangerous to be feminine around these low class black people. It's dangerous. Protect your daughters, because I promise you, the black men are not going to do it. And if you keep fucking around to find out, they will prey on her and turn her out. Get her away from black men. Peace and love.